Hello everyone and welcome to the first Let's Talks for Guild Wars 2. Warning for anyone who can't stand a constant flashing of light and movement on a screen, this video does have a lot of it. The picture was 7 hours and 22 minutes for completion time, and there are times where this screen's going to be moving very quickly for how fast I had to speed it up for to get it at a reasonable time. I'm going to start by talking a little bit about the picture here. This is of Grinth. I figured it was high time I updated my in-screen or in-card, whichever you would prefer calling it. And I figured, hey, let's keep it in the style of the human gods. And I decided to draw my favorite of the human gods, Grinth. Why is he my favorite? Long story short, I fell in love with Grinth back during Ascalon Pre-Searing for Guild Wars 1, and the image that got me to first start really liking him as the god that my human characters would always follow was the one that you find in the Catacombs, which was one of the 3 pictures I used as a basis for this one. So yes, I did use 3 pictures to draw this one picture as references, because of the fact that Balthazar, yeah, you could see that he was semi-based off of his avatar, or his avatar was based off of him, but he did have a lot of differences from his avatar, so I figured that Grinth would probably also have differences from his avatar, such as actually having a complete bone mask instead of having a huge gap going down the center, which is a very cool bone mask, don't get me wrong, I love that bone mask. But when I started drawing this image, I knew that I wanted to do something a little bit more creative than just copy from one source for how he would look. I took his avatar, the mural that was from Ascalon Pre-Searing in one of the Catacombs, and the statue of him that we first see in Divinity's Reach and later see all over the place in Ore. The stance is off of his statue. I wanted to try a new position that I had never really drawn before, so I started saying, hey, this one's a little bit different. The one arm is further back than the other arm. I've never really done the forearm further back than the arm in the front, so I decided I'm going to go with this one. On to what I am going to be doing for videos related to Guild Wars 2. I would like to try and get into making news videos, which I'm very far behind since I did miss the update that hey, Cantha's coming, as well as the latest story chapter update. I also would like to go back and make more of the guide videos on the classes in the game. I realized that my Revenant one also needs to be updated because I started playing my Revenant again and I noticed there have been quite a few changes. I mean, minor changes, but still quite a few from when I first made that video. It is not going to be the first one I do because I would like to come back and redo the ones I did already at a later date. I'm going to start with another class I really enjoy and move on from there. Those videos do take quite some time to do, but they're not going to be the biggest project I'm going to be tackling for Guild Wars 2. I am also still going to be doing review videos of each of the story chapters, which I'm very far behind on because I took a break from this game, and I took a very long break from YouTube. I had a lot going on in my life for the last several months and for the last several years, and I finally decided, yeah, I want to pick back up my hobbies, this one included. I will be starting with a review video over the latest story step after I've played it again on another character, since you can't actually replay that episode since it's only part of the episode on the character that you've completed it on. Luckily, I have an army of alts, and I haven't even gotten there on the character I am returning to as my main, which is my Revenant, because he's pretty far behind in the story, so I've been slowly catching up on him. And by slowly, I mean I'm working on the achievements as I'm catching up on him, so that I can work on getting Vision, because I never got Vision. This also means that yes, I'm going to continue with the reviews over the mounts that come into the game, such as we just had a new mount enter with the latest story expansion that I would like to review. It's not the most expensive kind of mount, it's the second most expensive, but I do like the little Roadrunner and I would like to review it. I don't have all of the mounts for my mounts because it's very expensive to do that. Even if you manage to do farming to make more gold and change that gold into gems, generally when a new one comes out, the gold cost to gem cost goes up. So trying to get more gems with gold is very expensive, gold-wise. And I didn't have the gold to do it right away because I didn't feel like pulling my gold out of the bank, and I had just made a new scented bag. So yeah, I didn't really have the gold because the scented bags are about 100 gold a piece if you don't have everything for them. That was painful. I'm also hoping to do some fun videos, such as doing a jumping puzzle entirely as, say, a sky scale. Because you can jump as a sky scale. I don't know why, but it would be kind of fun to do, so I will make one of my favorite jumping puzzles and I will be a sky scale for it. And if the reaction's good, I will continue to make some jumping puzzle videos as a sky scale. If they aren't, then those videos will go by the wayside. It's just a fun little thing I would like to do for very quick videos that I can make, because it only takes a couple minutes to do some of the earlier game jumping puzzles, and it would be just fun to give it a go. As for what I've missed in the time I was taking a break from the game, well, I missed 2 of the story chapters. I logged in and got them, so I'm not having to buy them off the gem store, but I had not played those until, God, last week? Yeah, I played them last week. So I will be playing back through those on my main to see what they're like voice acted since that was updated. And I will also be going back through every single story to make story summaries. This is the big project for this game. I have, for every game, one big project. For the other 2 games, I make content for it's the lore. For this one, it's going to be story summaries, because the way I want to do them are with pictures, which might not end up happening because that's a lot of work. But it is something I would like to try and do, and if the images don't end up working very well, it will be done in a normal fashion where I'm just having my character in the story step that I'm talking about and summarizing. The largest part of this project is going to be going through and playing the base game story. Why is that? Because every race has 3 options for the level 10 story, 3 options for the level 20 story, a couple options here and there throughout their level 30 story, and then you have 3 options entirely for level 40. It changes again at level 50 for the race that you can choose to help out, and then reconverges around level 60, 70, and 80, but still has a couple things that diverge here and there from it. So the base game is going to be the hardest because there are so many options you can make as a player. They're not big world-changing options because you're still going to end up with the same, hey, I'm going to go kill this Elder Dragon story at the end, but it is still a lot to take in, and I do know that the base game is, for me at the very least, the hardest story to get through. While I was on a hiatus from this game, I missed making a video about, hey, we're getting Cantha! So, hey, we're getting Cantha, let's talk about it here. And by missed, I mean I didn't make a video about it. I didn't actually physically miss it. I was there watching the trailer with everybody else the day it was announced. And yeah, hey, we're going to Cantha. It's kind of a funny order because in the original Guild Wars we got Prophecies, which was basically Kryta. We got Factions, which was Cantha, and then we got Alona. Nightfall was the title of that expansion. And then we got the Eye of the North, which was basically the Eye of the North and the Maguma Jungle. Parts of the Maguma Jungle. In this game, we have gotten Kryta as the base, with parts of the Maguma Jungle, because you start as characters that live in the Maguma Jungle. And then we got the actual Maguma Jungle, the really deep Maguma Jungle for the Morgemoth part. So that was reversed because that was originally part of Eye of the North. And then we headed to Elona, which originally was the 3rd expansion for the original Guild Wars. And in Iceberg Saga, we went into the Eye of the North, so the last expansion is now a Iceberg Saga Living World story step thing. And now we are finally going to Cantha, which was the original 2nd expansion to the game, and I am super excited that we're going to Cantha. Looking back on it, as I reminisce about the original game, Cantha had to have been one of my favorite games. It wasn't the easiest one to level in, so most of the time I would find myself in Nightfall over everything else. But the story of Cantha was great. I absolutely loved the aesthetic of Cantha. It was very beautiful, and I cannot wait to see what everything looks like 300 years later. It is going to be amazing to see. And hopefully we meet Steve, the water dragon. I know he has an official name now, but I'm going to still call him Steve. As the finale of Iceberg Saga draws to a close, I am going to try and make a predictions video over what we may or may not be seeing in Cantha. This is going to be my best educated guess. It is not actually what we will be seeing, because obviously we're not there yet. We haven't even finished the Iceberg Saga yet, so trying to make a guess right now is going to be pretty hard. But as the time draws near, I will definitely be making an educated guess and a video over it, what my thoughts are going to be about what we are going to be doing in Cantha. I'm actually hoping that the end of the Iceberg Saga is going to show us why we're going to Cantha. Who knows, it might be related to Primordus, and it might not be related to Primordus. All I know for now is we're going to Cantha, and it's going to be great. I also really hope, and I know that this is probably unlikely to happen, that we are going to be getting a new race to play. And that race is going to be the Tengu. I love the Tengu. It's been one of the biggest speculations for a time for people because the Tengu are a highly desired race. It would be kind of awkward because you couldn't go through the base game, the 2nd game, and so on unless they did something interesting with the Tengu's backstory, because they do not believe in killing elder dragons. And they do not want to be a part of it. There's one Tengu that you can go talk to who explains a little bit more on their stance around this, and I do highly suggest that if you're interested in seeing one of the reasons why Tengu might not be coming, go talk to that heart. I'll eventually show where he's at. Off the top of my head, I don't remember. All I know is he has a lot of good points to why the Tengu are not getting involved in our war. Thank you guys so much for watching. The next video is going to be one of my fun videos where I attempt a jumping puzzle as a sky scale. This will be followed up with the review over the Roadrunner Raptor mount, and hopefully after that we'll have the review for the latest chapter or part of a chapter for the Iceberg Saga finale.